What's going on, Star Wars fans? We are here. How is everybody doing? And I need to I'm gonna try this now.
Hello there.
Technology is amazing. But anyways, it is Wednesday night. Everybody's here. We got a really cool show tonight. We got review and predictions for 7 and 8, review for 5 and 6, Maul Shadow Lord. We got gazillion freaking trailers for the Mandalorian and Grogu. They're like popping out every day. We're getting a couple new scenes. We got a really cool scene from Jimmy Kimmel last night. So we're going to show that. It's actually a scene. We can definitely discuss that because I think there's some really cool things and a passenger in there that we need to discuss what's going on with that. So appreciate everybody being here. Of course, Zima's here, Jacob's here, Jarvo is here, Max is here. So we appreciate you guys all coming here. And how are you guys doing? Nick, Derek, and Mike, what's going on?
Doing great.
Man, any better I'd be mic'd.
Oh. It's a deep cut for the fans.
Well, I'm doing great.
I'm doing great. Austin, welcome, Austin. It's been a minute.
Will's back, baby.
We're glad you're here. We're going to talk some Maul. 5 and 6. I'm actually going to go first on this. I know Mike talked a bunch about it, and the four of us have chatted a little bit about it the past few days here. So, Darth Plagueis lives. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you, guys. Kyler, thank you. Everybody's jumping on. Love it. So, Maul 5 and 6. Honestly, 5, and I told Mike this, and I understand the build up, but I was a little disappointed, and I would give 5 a 7.5. It was still amazing, still liked it a lot, but I just thought that we could have used a little bit more action in it. One of my favorite things, though, that was in it was I gotta play this because I downloaded it just for this, because I just think it's awesome when you hear this sound, it's freaking cool. All right, I'm back. I got muted. Anyways, when that sound came on, I got goosebumps. That was, for me, that was almost the best part of the episode. It did give us information. It did give us a little backstory on Morok. It gave us some other backstories and different things, and we're still building on characters, which is great. But for me, it was a little disappointing just because I was expecting like action from top to bottom, and that's what we got in 6. So that was amazing. So 6 I would definitely give a 9.5 to, maybe a 9.8. I thought that was great. The two lightsabers, with both double-bladed lightsabers battling with Morok and Maul. I mean, it really doesn't get any better than that. I actually have that. Maybe we'll play that later. But I loved it, and I know Mike, you had said something too, and I was just like, we're just on the same page. When he starts it up and just starts his spinning, and then Maul's like, hey, I'm the GOAT. Watch this, and he doesn't do any mechanical stuff. He just spins the shit out of that thing. And so that was awesome. So again, I'm loving this whole series. I think it's just going to get better this week. I know we're going to get into some predictions, so that will be really cool. So I'm going to give the floor to you guys. What do you guys think about 5 and 6, Derek?
Ooh. So first take on 5, I was the same as you, Ron. And then 6 also, like 6 was just amazing. It's the best episode so far, I think. But then I rewatched it all the way through. So starting at episode 1 all the way to 6. and I had a very different opinion about 5. Because when you start watching it like that, almost as if it's a movie, it is the perfect calm down, but yet anticipation that a movie would have. And that's where I'm like, this was probably going to be a movie, or script wise, they wrote it like a movie and then they broke it up. So upon watching all of them, amazing. And then I went back and watched just 5 again, and I kind of felt the same way. I was kind of like, 5 was a little slow. But if you watch all of them in a line, 5 is perfect where it's placed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really didn't want to listen to what Derek had to say.
Oh,
Oh man! All because that first
Getting real
comment.
here, folks.
Oh,
We
my
don't hold
God.
back here on Star Wars Jedi Chat.
No, I had to go let my dog out actually, but I agree with him. Actually, I did hear most of what he said. Episode 5, I think it served its purpose, and its biggest purpose was reintroducing us to Marok. And I love me some Ahsoka season 1. It's like one of my favorite things of all time. Marok is like 10 billion times better in this show than he was in Ahsoka. Like, it's not even close. And they build him up as sort of like a scarier character, which is way cooler than what he was in Ahsoka. Ahsoka, he does nothing. Granted, he's probably like an undead version of himself. So that's, I guess, a little bit different. But he is so badass when he's introduced in that 5th episode. When he's fighting in that 6th episode, he is just all around awesome. So loved me some Marok this week. Did not expect him to be that good. And now I'm even more excited to get more of the Crow, because if they did that to Marok, what are they going to do with this Crow guy? Having said that, I actually liked episode 5 a lot more. Not more than 6. 6 is my favorite episode of the entire series, but a lot more than even you guys are, just because of that Marok stuff, but also all the stuff with, I guess, the Devon Izara and Master Iko Dio stuff. When they flee the train station and Master Iko Dio uses that muffler of his to take out the stormtroopers, like that is awesome. But then episode 6, cannot say enough good things about it. The lightsaber duels just continue to get better in this series. I don't know how. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the big battles yet, and we're still getting these incredible lightsaber sequences. I like that our heroes are now split up. Master and apprentice split up. Father and son split up going into next week. And Maul is with both the son and apprentice of our heroes. So what is he going to do with that? What's he going to do with Riley? Like, what is he going to do with this kid? And of course, he's got Devon in his grasp. So
yeah. And one thing I would like to say about Marok too, when I was watching it the whole way through, is because I was at my tech center that I run, and the kids were like, they wanted to watch it. They were like, "You've been talking about this, let's watch it." And these are kids that are like not Star Wars kids at all. And when that happened, and when he appears behind him, they lost their minds. They're like, "Why was that so creepy?" I was like, "It was perfect."
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all you guys in different ways. So when I was watching 5, I didn't like not enjoy it maybe to the extent that like Ron and Derek, you guys might have. I for a fact think to myself like, shoot, I said there wouldn't be any filler episodes. And I feel like I'm 10 minutes into this one and it feels a little possibly fillery. I got over that pretty quick because I got a hot take for you. I think it's got my favorite ending to an episode so far. I did not expect Devon
to go to his house,
and Master Dio to be in his house. I was like, wow, that's a nice little thing. And the reason why I was pleased with it is because I knew 6 was there in the queue.
Yeah.
Okay. So like if it would have been one episode a week, I probably would have felt differently. So in this case, I'm kind of I'm liking, similar to Andor, this multiple episode release, knowing that they're kind of built, like Derek said, it's built for the entirety of the show, but they're releasing it in a way where they're built for each other. So like the fact that I love the ending of 5 was probably bolstered by the fact that I knew 6 was there, and then 6 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Marok was great. I think some of the animation things we talked last week about the facial expressions. I think it's going to come out, if it hasn't already, that they motion captured the voice actors' faces, or just did some AI magic to it. But Marok, like having his armor gleam in some of these shots is like shit that kind of looks live action in a couple of the shots. Like and he's creepy, like you all said,
Yeah.
and he's much more of a threat than he was in Ahsoka, obviously. But more than that, this was the first time in like all of Inquisitor history that I've actually been interested in an Inquisitor. I have never, personally, no offense to anybody who is, I have never once felt any anxiety for our characters with an Inquisitor. They're akin to like a better Stormtrooper to me mentally when I'm watching them. If Vader shows up, then I'm anxious, you know, like, and that's very underselling of Inquisitors. I know that's a mean thing to say, but seeing Marok in this was the first time where I was like, ooh, this is a problem, you know, for an Inquisitor, personally. So I'm interested to see what his deal is further. Maybe he doesn't have a deal, but he's talking to somebody at the end. I'm sure we'll talk about who we think that could be. And the Crow comes to back him up. So those two characters might have some, you know, conversations, might have some depth added to them that makes them even cooler. But so far, so good, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm gonna put up a poll here. The way this one works, you have to put 1 for love it, 2 for like it, 3 for it was okay, and 4 for not for me. So if you guys want to
do it for you
in there. No, look at that.
Look at you.
Sorry, Mike, you're a little cut off there, but I can still see you. Yeah, whatever Mike is doing.
Remember,
Mike, why were you laughing when Nick was talking? I don't know why Mike was laughing.
I don't know. There was something weird going on in the chat. No, I do want to bring up something that none of us have actually mentioned yet, and what I think probably the most important thing that happened in this week's episodes happened in episode 5, and that was when Rook Cast goes into that like broom closet and talks to the 2 Mandalorians, and the Mandalorians are like, "We didn't sign up for this." And they are starting to have some cold feet with our good pal Maul here. And they're like, the Empire's here. We didn't sign up for this. The credits aren't going to be rolling anymore. That's all we care about. So, I mean, we do know where Maul ends up, by himself on Malachor 5. Everybody turns on him at some point. Everybody leaves him in the dust at some point. These Mandalorians might abandon him in this season, or maybe even in season 2, but they're planting the seeds of that. They didn't have to give us that scene at all, but it was extremely important.
And when we see him in Solo, it's not like he runs the Shadow Collective. It's like he runs Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
You know, as far as we know. It's not like he runs the Pikes and everybody else that we know of, you know.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be interesting. And you definitely bring up a good point, Mike. You know, is everybody going to just like bail? Are they going to, you know, hang out, possibly get killed, get mic'd, you know, or are they just going to leave because they don't have any money rolling in? Or is he going to start to get some more money rolling in as we go in through the, you know, the next few episodes and figure that out? Because there's still a couple scenes that we have seen in the trailers that we haven't seen yet. The biggest one, I think, for all of us is going to be when Maul's hurt. And what happened to him at that point? Is that when he loses his posse? Is this towards the end? Is that going to be the cliffhanger, or is, you know, something else going on? Hopefully that won't be it. I think we need a bigger cliffhanger than that, but I think it'll be interesting to find out how he gets defeated. You know, is it, like you said, coming in from, you know, you have the Crow coming in. So that's why I don't think whoever we see or whoever Marok is talking to, I think we're only going to get an image of them in the whatever the shadow thing, whatever that is there. I forget the name of them. But for that, I think he's gonna, like Nick said, I think we're gonna see, or Mike, we're gonna see the Crow come in and back him up. 2 people are gonna come in. I think at this point, Devin is definitely gonna be on Maul's side fighting if something else comes up. But I think we're going to see the Crow come in, back him up, and then we'll see what happens, whether it's Maul or if it's Darth Vader or Palpatine that Morak was talking to. But thoughts on that?
Sorry, did you say that who he's talking to? Who you think he's talking to?
No, I think like just where do we think Morak's going to with the Crow coming in? Do you think that Devin is going to stick with Maul and sort of stay on his side? And what do we think of Iko Dio too? I mean, we don't know what's going on with him. He's got I don't think he's got much longer.
He's been alive. He's been alive much
longer.
longer than I expected.
Same.
Yeah.
I thought this was the one where he's mic'd. I thought this was the batch.
Yeah. His life expectancy for me was like 1 episode, and he's well surpassed that.
His life expectancy for you was the part of those preview clips that they didn't show.
Yeah,
of the first
exactly.
episode.
Exactly. But having said that, I've kind of flipped completely on my head with Master Iko Dio. I think he might actually live till the finale, or maybe even the final 2 episodes, because they're going to use that death as sort of the last thing. And right now they're already split up. So maybe he could die next week if the Inquisitors show up, but maybe I still don't think Maul is going to kill him. So it's going to have to be the Inquisitors, and they could be saving it for the finale or the end of next week to set up the finale. Either way, his time is running out. Okay, he's already living off of borrowed time. His time is running out.
Yeah, for sure. And that's just it. We got 4 more episodes left, and that's it. So we're going to close this off. And like you said, Nick, it's going to be really cool by the end of this, because we know there's a season 2 already, but we don't have that in the queue. Yeah. And that's what's gonna stink. We're going back to, possibly waiting another year for that. I don't think so. I think when Sam talked about this and said he had already been working on it for a year. I mean, Mike, what was that, 6 months ago? Probably.
No, that was a year ago.
Yeah. So we're like 2 years into this. So it's I think we might get it sooner than we think, which would be awesome. Because right now, the only thing we have next year, well, we do have Celebration, but I think we might get that at, February, March would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think we will get it by this time next year. Anybody who's in the chat watching Invincible, I just finished season 4 of Invincible today. I mean, it was awesome, but cliffhanger ending. So I fully expect Maul Shadow Lord, because they greenlit the 2nd season, to have a cliffhanger ending. And I got a feeling that it's going to be like, oh my God, I have to wait a whole year for this. Like, people are going to be mad, like actually mad that they have to wait that long, because it's going to be that big of a cliffhanger. Now, it's probably going to be Vader related, as we all assume. But I think, we're going to have to be like the good old days of having to wait for things.
Crazy.
But the good thing is we have Mandalorian and Grogu popping up right around the corner after that, and then Ahsoka season 2, which is going to be phenomenal as well. Even though we haven't heard anything, I do think that we're going to get it probably by September, October, which would be fantastic. So a couple other people jumping in here. Please throw in your comments. Let us know what you thought about Maul, Shadow Lord 5 and 6. Anything else you got coming up, let us know. We do have a big announcement. We announced it yesterday on Mike's channel, so hang out for that for a little while. We're going to talk about that. It has to do with Mandalorian and Grogu, but we are talking about Maul Shadow Lord right now. Predictions for or do we want to do a character first? Do we want to do predictions, or we want to do a character? Nick, what you think?
Up to you guys.
Well, I want to talk about first who the hologram is, because
Okay.
I don't think it's Vader at all. I'm fully off the Vader bandwagon completely. I don't think, if it was, they'd show his breathing. You would hear his breathing. They'd give us the Imperial March. They'd do something to signify that is Vader. If they wanted people to go, oh my God, Vader's coming next week, they would have. You just simple as that's it. All we needed. But they didn't give us that. So I don't think it's Vader at all. Who do you guys think he's talking to?
Somebody had a good thing in the chat. Sorry, Nick. Somebody said something. Is it, and I don't know who gets called Lord and who doesn't, and we know Lord Vader, we know Palpatine, somebody said something, maybe it might be the Crow. I don't know about that. I think it was sort of, and I tried to pull up a picture of it, but you really can't tell. I think if you watch it, you can see a little bit of a cloak. So I think it could possibly be the Emperor. Because again, he's the one that sort of is as much as Darth Vader is like in charge of the, Inquisitors, Maul and Palpatine have history. And Palpatine, is probably like, this is a thorn in my side. You guys go take care of this. See what's going on. And then somebody calls back. And that's my thought. But again, it's Star Wars. So we could be completely wrong. This could be somebody that we have no idea is going to pop in there.
Yeah. Well, the thing with it being Palpatine too is, like you said, their history together. But in the trailer, Marok says the Emperor wants you dead, and the Empire is sent there because they have a picture of Maul's face. Mm-hmm. They know who they're coming for. It's not like a surprise. So they sent Marok to confirm this information, and then he confirms it. My lord, Maul lives, and he's more powerful than ever, or whatever he says. So it does seem like he's getting it from the top dog, but I don't really know if Palpatine's talking to those fools.
Right.
Yeah, I racked my brain on it. I agree with you, Mike. I feel like they'd have done the breathing. I also now feel like they would definitely not care in that case to withhold his audio, for whatever reason. My sense is that given like the examples of Palpatine never wanting to be known to be actually Darth Sidious, not even to his royal guards who are around him all the time. In current canon, if anyone sees him use powers, he kills him. So I hesitate to think he would just directly deal with Marok and not like a Grand Inquisitor or something. I don't know. Do they call the Grand Inquisitor my lord? I doubt it. Never heard it before. Are the hierarchies with Inquisitors like really personal to where if like Marok is learning from the Crow, like I don't know how that works. My bet is still Vader, and they're just leading us down a rabbit hole just because for those reasons, that's what makes logical sense to me. But I could see like it would be cool, as much as I just trashed him earlier, like if the Grand Inquisitor made another appearance in a show. Like we haven't really seen him using Kenobi, but kind of, that would be cool. I just don't see him being called my lord by anyone unless he had just this massive power trip over people, at some point in his career. But I hesitate to believe that Marok would like be that tight with Palpatine to be calling him like as if he's a Sith higher up, which people don't know. And but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different opinions on that too. And maybe this is the show where we find out. But I do agree with you guys that I think Palpatine is going to be vastly more concerned with Maul than he was, say, with Kenobi by the end of Kenobi, where he's like, leave him alone, I don't care. So I think he genuinely does not view stray Jedi as a threat, to him. They're a threat to like, they're annoying and he hates them, wants to root them out. But I do think he views Maul as a threat, like a very real threat. He's the one who trained him and gets it. What's going on over there, Mike?
Something on my screen. Oh, there
isn't Marok the first brother?
I don't know.
Yes.
Are they?
Yes, I believe so. So I'm saying it has to be Palpatine.
Yeah.
It can't be anyone else.
First brother reports to Palpatine. That would make sense. Now, going to the Grand Inquisitor side of it, Lucasfilm themselves actually confirmed that in the first draft, it was supposed to be the Grand Inquisitor, and they said it changed in the second draft. Now, Well, actually, they technically worded it as you would have seen the Grand Inquisitor at the end of episode 6 in the first draft, and they changed it in the second draft. So maybe you didn't see him, and they're trying to play like coy with that. But I think they probably went with the Grand Inquisitor, and then they went, let's go bigger. And then they were like, let's go Palpatine or Vader, instead of letting people, just wait around for him. I will agree with you, Nick. As you were saying earlier, the Inquisitors haven't really impressed you ever. I agree, except for the Grand Inquisitor in Rebels Season 1. Because the rest of the Inquisitors for the rest of Rebels are not that great. Ahsoka just messes with them. It's whatever. But the Grand Inquisitor in Season 1, because Kanan's not that powerful, because Ezra's not powerful, he messes them up, and he's pretty good. But other than that, I agree with you. The rest of the Inquisitors have not been portrayed well in Star Wars thus far until Marok shows up on screen. So if we get more of that with other Inquisitors, that'd be nice.
I disagree. They were portrayed very well in Fallen Order.
Oh, the Jedi games.
True.
Yeah, you're absolutely
True.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about the video games.
Really, really well.
But I think
video
that's
games.
what makes their on-screen performance like
Weaker.
a little bit of a bummer, because they are such a threat in the game. Like it feels different, and they're genuinely should seem like a threat in like the comics and stuff. Like they seem unhinged, and in Fallen Order they're kind of scary, or
they're very scary, and the storyline is amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
and that's what I love about this, because all 4 of us have different things, and Derek, you brought that up. We forgot about that. So I love that we are all able to put our 2 cents in and be able to bring different things up like that, and that's what's cool about this.
Yeah. And going back to what Nick said too, like it could still be Vader, this hologram, but they just didn't want to show us the breathing for some reason. And maybe it's just they're like, hey, let's just make them speculate for a whole week, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, it's Vader, obviously, duh. But like they just didn't want to tell us to make us go crazy about it, as we usually do.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to be, I would guess it has to pretty much be and I think that's why 7 and 8, sorry, I just keep stopping talking. 7 and 8 are going to be awesome, because I think we're going to have to get who that is pretty much right away in 7. We're going to have to see who that is.
Actually,
Is there a world where we won't get it at all?
Yes, I actually agree with that. I think you won't get it until the finale, because
When they actually show up.
yes, they'll be like,
Okay.
Marok, the Crow will show up, get his epic entrance like we've seen in one of the trailers. He has this cool entrance. He'll show up, and Marok will be like, ha, reinforcements, got him. And then we still won't figure out who that is. And that's why maybe, again, they didn't give us the breathing, because they want to make you think for weeks and weeks and weeks, who could that be? Imagine if they don't tell us for the whole season and you have to wait till season 2. That would be even more crazy. But I actually disagree. I don't think it'll be right away tell us. I think it'll be make them wait.
Well, I think it's also like, imagine you're out of the what was the number, 4.1 million people who watched it in the first couple days. Out of that number, I don't think there's a ton of like casual fans, but imagine a world where you're watching it and he talks to a hologram, you don't know who it is, and then you get this like super dramatic entrance of the Crow. Who, whether you've seen Tales or not, wouldn't know who that is. We don't even really know who that is.
Yeah.
And it's super badass, and they have these awesome fights, and that's maybe that hologram goes out of sight, out of mind, until whoever that is actually shows up later on in the last episode.
I think Vader's appearance, or I guess introduction in the show, is going to be like Maul and the others are winning. It seems like they're going to win the day. And then Vader shows up and just starts destroying everybody. So it's going to be like light at the end of the tunnel, and then just darkness of Vader, because they always give him a great entrance in Kenobi, in Rogue One, and in the Jedi games and everything. So this is going to be I think the cherry on top for Vader entrances.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have a poll going right now of who you think it's going to be. So make sure if you haven't answered the poll, you do so. And if you don't, you might get mic'd.
Where is it?
It's not on there. It's going to be on
in the chat where it belongs.
Yeah, you're right. Hands off.
This is just a widget for me on the new the StreamYard. So that's what I'm able to do.
Yeah.
Derek's the tech guy, so he gets to do the cool one.
Got it.
Again,
I kind of feel like
thought it was
yours
more
looked a
of a
lot cooler.
Should we throw up our definitive answer? I think we threw out a lot of things. Should we throw up our definitive answers right now?
Yes, let's do it.
Yeah. Derek,
Palpatine.
Mike.
Cal Kestis. No,
Damn it! I was gonna say it.
I'm still sticking with Vader, even though the no breathing thing, I think it's just to throw us off. I'm still with Vader.
It's a
Uh,
No,
trap.
Palpatine. Yeah.
I
So
think
that
it's
means-
Vader 2 with a. I think it's Vader 2 with a misdirect to the crow. I'll throw that out there. Go
Okay.
ahead, Ron.
I think it's Palpatine or somebody different. I don't think it's an Inquisitor or Vader. I think Mike referred to that earlier. I think if we get Vader, it's going to be an epic, type of fighting, and all of a sudden it just like we turn and the music plays, and he's either standing there or was Mike. You watched. I mean, we all know, but watching Rogue One when Krennic's standing there and in his palace and the door just starts to open and you see the shadow of Vader there and in Rogue One, it's so epic, I mean, and yes, when at the end and all that stuff, but I think it's so cool when he's at his palace and the door is opening up and you see Vader, and that's what we're going to get. I think if Vader comes in this year, in this season, it's going to be cool. But I think it could be Palpatine that they are talking to, or Moroc's sort of letting him know, and then he's going to sort of dispatch like the Crow or somebody else to go along. But
Yeah.
I'm also under the impression that it could be somebody that none of us are expecting, which could be sort of cool too.
Well, one more thing on that, Ron. We watched the Star Destroyer come overhead and the alarm going off, and how great that entrance was for a Star Destroyer. Imagine how great the entrance is going to be for Vader. Like, it's going to be next level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you about the not finding out, but I also think that we might, sort of find out right away, because I think they're going to tease it to people. Again, we have to remember that the critics and everybody that saw the first 8 episodes, they were already at a 96, I think, when it popped up, and everybody, the critics were at 100, but the people were at like 96 or 98, and it's gone down a little bit since since then. I think that had a lot to do with 5, as much as we all liked it, and there was, but even the normie fans were like, oh, this is a little bit slower. Again, it was a great build up to Morok, but I think that they saw those first 8 episodes, everybody did, and was like, oh, this is amazing. So 7 and 8, I think, are just going to continue to build off of 6, and then 9 and 10, I think, is just going to blow everybody's mind. So it should be fun the next couple of weeks to find out about that.
Yeah.
I do have to give a shout out to Clan Mandalorian. If you haven't seen it already, Mike was on there last week. I've actually been invited to come on. I think it's May 3rd, so the day before the last episode. So we'll do some predictions for that. But if you haven't checked him out yet, check him out. And I think it's John is his partner. Is that right, Mike? Yeah. So go check them out. They do live on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time. So, and Mike was on last week. Great episode. Go check that out.
Yeah.
So while we're still talking about Maul, what are we 33 minutes in? Let's talk about, I know we talked a lot about Morok, and I think we might do that another time, but let's talk about a character that we got this week. Do you have have that pulled up, Nick?
Let me throw that up.
Okay.
He's been a potential candidate for character spotlight for 2 weeks in a row. So
yeah,
I thought week 3 is a good time. There were some other characters in contention, but I feel like Ron and I decided we were going to get more from them later. So here we go. We have 6 episodes of Brander Lawson and his exploits in Maul. We're kind of learning, especially in the first couple of episodes, we're kind of learning where things stand in a way through him a little bit, especially if anyone needed reintroducing to Maul. And I think we've all been like kind of surprised and very intrigued in Detective Lawson
Captain.
or Captain Lawson? Captain Lawson's behavior and choices and background. So take it away, guys. What do we think so far? Especially, now I guess we're talking mainly 5 and 6, but throughout this whole thing.
Derek, you got?
I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Like a lot of trouble.
Mhm.
And I love his character. I think the character arc that he has going on is so great, and it's going to build into his wife or ex-wife or whatever she is. That is going to be a huge part of the story as to why he doesn't want them there, obviously. And I think part of his story, I think his son is going to turn him in.
Mm.
I really have a feeling that his son is going to be the one that turns him in, or like, he's gonna side with his mom because his dad kind of left him hanging. So he's gonna get arrested, or
I don't know. I think he'll probably continue to sort of skirt around in the shadows with everybody because they already brought him in, they already interrogated him, and I want to get into that in a minute. But I really like the way that they are portraying him as an officer. I mean, he's drinking the coffee all the time. He's got the coffee on his desk all the time. I think it's almost like you're combining Law and Order with with Star Wars at this point with this guy. We have a new guest, and what's his or her name, Mike?
Oh,
her name is Boo.
Hey, Boo.
Boo.
She never comes downstairs, and for some reason, she left.
Oh no!
She says hi for like 2 seconds, and then she's gone to sleep.
This is Darth Molly.
Here we go.
Boo is not like that.
That's no. Come here, Molly. There's Darth
like
Molly.
Half a second late.
Yeah, this is Darth Molly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, Nick,
she's
go
a good
pick up
one.
your dog.
Go get your dogs. Everybody get your dog break.
Nick's
I don't think he's
dog
gonna
is
like
huge.
it.
Yeah, he's a big
Ron,
dog,
can
isn't
you
he?
pull up that picture again that you had?
The calf
desk?
or
Yeah, look at the picture on his computer.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still
There-
we don't know, like you said, Derek, we don't know if he's divorced or separated or what at this point. She's not there. Obviously, we did see her this week, not for very long. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up too. I'm glad you said that, because when we see her talking to is it Ryder? Riley, the son, she's talking and then and she does one of these and she's like, all right, I gotta go. So that was sort of interesting. I thought that she, I mean, yeah, she's at work, but again, if any of us are at work and you're talking to your kid for some reason, most of the time your boss is going to be like, okay, go ahead, talk to your kid, take care of your family, what you need to do, but then come back to work. So I thought that was sort of interesting. We don't know what she does yet, and I don't think that Brander didn't want the Empire there because of her. I think he just knows how shitty the Empire can be when they pull up. So I thought that was interesting with what they did with her character.
Yeah, and Brander Lawson obviously has like a conscience, especially while he's doing his work. It's not just like no Empire because we like crime and Janix. He just understands kind of like the ecosystem of the bigger picture, and that might be why he doesn't like the Empire, and that would certainly be good enough for me. But I wonder if whatever situation him and his girlfriend, I'm just going to say it out here, who owns the club, whatever situation they got in, I wouldn't be surprised if the Empire is the reason that he almost died, depending on, how long ago that was or whatever that was. It could be the issue between him and his wife. I don't know. But I do think it's possible we learn that Brander has firsthand experience with how shitty the Empire is, rather than just like knowing about it or hearing about it and having a contrarian opinion. But, we're also seeing adjacent to Brander, two Boots kind of maybe changing up literally only when he gets told he can't wear his boots.
Yes.
So we have a long way to
Absolutely.
go. We have a long way to go with him fully turning around. But yeah, I think he is one of the more interesting characters, even though he's not like a Force user or whatever. I do like the little lore nugget of Uncle Docky telling him, like, I can only describe what happened to us as a purge. And again, with the facial expression, Lawson is like, what? Like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know that. You know, I like those little nuggets that they're given, and that he's willing to, you know, the second that stuff goes down, he's like, okay, we're in this now. And like Derek said, he is in big trouble. Yeah.
Deep doo-doo this time.
Deep doo-doo this time.
Yes.
But
no, I love the character of Brander. Honestly, what I didn't think was going to happen this week was he sort of be the spotlight, ironically. Because Maul is barely in his own show. It's the Boba Fett treatment.
we said that might happen.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of this stuff, he didn't call the Empire. So the Empire's not going to be happy about that. And now I think Nick hit the nail on the head with the Two Boots situation. I think at some point the Empire is going to catch up to Daki and Brander, who are now split up from the rest. And Two Boots is going to have to make a decision to help out Brander or to help out the Empire, I guess. And the funniest scene of this week was when he's like, see, the Empire's not so bad. I think come to the end of this, Brander Lawson will, he'll come around to the Empire, and then his wanted sign pops up on the back.
Yeah, right behind him.
Well, and like that's such a cool moment for other reasons too, because like Two Boots is basically regurgitating like Imperial propaganda of like why it's so understandable that the Empire can just sprawl its power everywhere so willingly. It's the same we see in Revenge of the Sith. Everyone thunderous applause, right? What he's saying is like technically true. They're giving us so many resources. They're helping us with everything. They're taking it over. And Brander's like, man, Brander's like the only one. He's with the audience like, man. And again, like he was describing Maul to the audience through his investigation, now he's describing the audience's feelings on the screen. Every Star Wars project has someone who's representing the audience. And it turns out it's Brander Lawson for this show. So,
well, to that point too, like in not this week's episodes, but the week before, when Two Boots was like, "Oh, when the Republic was around, we just called the Republic and they'd send a Jedi, and now the Empire's around and they just send an Inquisitor." It's the same thing, right? Like that's sort of the logic that a lot of the galaxy will see it as, though, because most people have their own lives to worry about and all this other stuff. Like, I think it was in Andor, I believe, where there was like the people on Coruscant, they're like, oh, Empire, oh, maybe it was Ahsoka, actually. It was something where we were on Coruscant and the people were like, New Republic, Empire, it doesn't matter to me. It's just the next government. Like,
I think
that's
it was
kind of
Mando 3.
Oh, that's what it was.
With Pershing's episode.
Yes. So that's sort of what probably 90% of the galaxy feels. Because it doesn't matter. There's so many different governments coming in and out of power. Like, it does not affect their lives in the slightest. But that's the 10% is what we focus on, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our characters.
Jedi Jarvo had a good question. What do you really think happened to the chief?
Oh, she's dead.
She got mic'd.
Yeah. Mic'd.
Mic'd 100%. Mic'd with a giant red lightsaber right through the head. Yeah.
So while we're talking about this, I do want to play this. It's a minute and 12 seconds, but I want everybody's opinion on that because it's a perfect segue into that. So we're gonna watch his interrogation.
Captain.
Wait,
Let's go.
where's Glyce?
She's been transferred permanently. I'd advise you to be more forthcoming than she was.
Tell me everything. walk into an ambush. Most of my team didn't make it out.
You survived.
Lucky me. Can I at least get a calf?
Captain, you're free to go.
Do
Ooh,
you
it makes me
think?
shudder? Ooh.
Do you think that he gave it up freely, or do you think that Morok like dove into his mind, or do you think that he just said, "Okay, this is my moral compass. I have an idea of what happened to my chief. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I think."
I think he gave it to him because I think he knows nobody's going to be there. Right.
Yeah,
Like I think he'll go there and see a carcass of a battle, and that's about all he'll find.
Yeah. The thing in that, what I sort of gathered from that interrogation was Marok figured it out because of the information that Brander gave him. Like he knows that there's Jedi or somebody helping Brander just from purely the line that he says where Brander's like, "I made it out, lucky me," and he's like, "Yeah, lucky you." Sure. He obviously had some help and you're not telling me things. So I think he figured it out. And then he goes to the crime scene, sees all the lightsaber marks. Does he have the Force Echo? Maybe. But he clearly sees that there's multiple lightsabers going on here and that there's more than just Maul on this planet. And it is, I guess, a testament to how powerful Marok is and his detective skills, I suppose.
Well, and that was my thing. I wasn't sure, but that makes a good point where, yeah, he probably told him he knew nobody was going to be there, and I think he can feel that through the Force, just from the voices or whatever was in the background. Even with the closed captions, it wasn't really anything saying. It wasn't, there wasn't any communication, but he could feel it. And I think similar to like Ahsoka does when in season 1, when she's there and she picks up the half, one half of the map, she can feel sort of what went on with Sabine. I think that Morok does have that because all of the Inquisitors were former Jedi, correct? So some of them are going to have different powers along with their fighting skills. So I think, and that's when he figured it out. But yeah, that's also a good point, Mike, when you said, yeah, sure you did. Well, obviously you as just a beat cop or a captain or whatever are not going to walk away from Maul. Yeah. So you had to have some help.
So also, I recall like a response team to the whole thing, right? Like when it all went down, it wasn't like he's the only one who made it out. There were even more, backup that showed up eventually and like took him out, right? Which if the Empire's taking, it's not like Brander Lawson made them like all scrub that event from history. And I think Two Boots like reported him shortly after. So like the Empire would have access to, this is the location of whatever happened. And to your point, Mike, like he's already figured it out. Like, why did you live if you're the one who went after him? Like, what's the deal there? But I think, now that I think about it, they probably already know enough to go check it out. But Marok is the one who figures out that there's something more. And Two Boots might have freaking told him where everything was, like once he's turned back on, like this is where they went, but doesn't know about Jedi or anything like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's pretty. Yeah, and I just thought that was interesting with his character, because again, I think he is the moral compass in this whole thing. Even though he was a bounty hunter, so he has a little bit of that. He's got some street cred, from that side, the criminal side, obviously, and I think also, once we see him go in and talk to was it Rena Saul. I think that's pretty interesting. That character there. Let me just bring her up right here. I think that was a pretty cool scene because he has to have some sort of information that he can't get, so he goes to her. She knows about Maul, and she gives him that information, who he was and what happened, and now obviously he's back. So I thought that was pretty interesting, to have that connection as well, which I thought was going to be a piece in this. When the first comic book came out, that's one of the first things that they said, that he was a bounty hunter, and now he's turned to this side. So he does have some morals. He wants to be police. He's got his family life, but also he did have some bad times, or some underground stuff that he knows, and she's able to help him with that. And I think she got away, didn't she? I know that they came into her place, but he saw her on the camera, kick their ass, and then bolt out of there.
I don't know. I don't think she's making it out of that alive. She punches a stormtrooper in the face, and then she's getting shot at from some other people. I don't know. That seems like an unsurvivable thing. Or she'll get arrested, maybe. I don't know.
I could see her maybe getting out because she knows, that's her place. She would know where to go. And that could be Lawson and Uncle Docky's ticket to safety, if they have one. I do think, I agree with Derek. I think they're going to get caught, but
they're definitely going to get caught. Like that's just going to happen.
Yeah. So,
all right, I got to mention.
Go ahead.
This is very unrelated to Maul, but I have to mention it because it was just sent my way. The Acolyte.
Man, we made it a long time. 51 minutes.
Look at us. Growth.
This is actually crazy. The Acolyte has reemerged on Disney Plus's top 10 TV shows right now, and it sits at number 9.
What?
Wow. That's awesome.
I would like to say that's because of us.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years after it ended, it is now, surprisingly, to say the least, hit the top 10.
Look what we did. Look at the world we made.
Well, what I think is happening, honestly, in all seriousness, is number one is Maul. Number one is Maul Shadowlord. So people just want more villain perspective Star Wars content. And that's the Acolyte from, I guess, she becomes the villain. The main character becomes the villain. She becomes the Acolyte. And there's a ton of lightsaber duels, and that's what we're getting in Maul, and that's what people want, and a lot of great lightsaber duels. So I think people are just going, I want more Maul while I wait for Maul, so let me watch the Acolyte. And it puts it at number 9 in the top 10.
So is that top 10 of Star Wars or top 10 of all Disney?
All of Disney Plus.
Nice.
Damn. Kind of a random, I guess it's not random with Maul being out, but
Yeah, because it'd be much less impressive if it was just Star Wars.
Yeah. I would have thought like the Bad Batch or something like,
animated.
Also animated.
No. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's been almost 2 years since that show came out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Got him.
Mr. Miyagi over here.
If you didn't think so, we are live, and Nick is killing bugs in his flying around.
We've got dogs running in. It's madness in here.
Since we're off topic a little bit, I'd be interested. Does it show the rest of the other 9?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's Maul, Shadowlord, Daredevil, because Daredevil's getting a new episode actually today. Malcolm in the Middle, the Testaments. I don't even know what that is. Secret of the Bees. Oh, it's a Discovery thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a great documentary. I love it.
A kids show, Little Margot. Another kids show, Perfect Crown. I don't know. Oh, that's on Hulu. So I guess it's Hulu and Disney Plus. R.J. Decker. Don't know what that is. And American Idol are the other ones in there.
Interesting. Yeah, that's because that's what I was wondering what Daredevil was, because I just watched the newest episode.
Number 2.
Yeah, it's pretty good if you guys haven't checked it out. So
I'm an episode behind. Yeah.
Are you? Yeah. I think, like I said, I looked and it was out, so I was like, oh, I need to watch it. So,
what's Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I was done.
I was just saying, what's the chat saying? What's going on in the chat? I feel like we haven't.
Chat says Acolyte 2. Acolyte, Acolyte 2.
We don't need an Acolyte 2. I think we just need an expansion of a couple of the characters.
Yeah, Chimera. That's
yeah.
it.
Well, and no, there's one other character. You have to, our
Plagueis.
yeah, you
Well,
have to.
that comes with Chimera.
I want a series where Kiadi Mundi presents his birth certificate to the camera.
Would that just be like an hour-long episode of him like trying to find it or something?
It needs what is it, that movie, The Benchwarmers, where he's like, I'm 12.
I am 137.
With Kid Crayon.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so good. Caddy Mundi's birthday. Well, honestly, and to not go all crazy over here, but a Plagueis show would serve the purpose. You could watch Plagueis in the first scene if you want. Hopefully not. I want more Manny Jacinto in Star Wars, but maybe in the first episode, him, I was gonna say kill him, but I don't want to kill him. Have a cup of tea with Chimera or something, and then maybe his head gets chopped off because of the tea. I don't know. But you gotta give an end to that story. Star Wars is a place where you can't have open ends. Maybe those open ends can last for 7 years, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, but there has to be an closure to that story.
I need closure.
Yeah, and the sooner the better, because if the actors get old,
I think you guys are spot on that it would be something else, but it would continue that time.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to find out, because the Acolyte was slated for a long time, didn't have a name, but it was on the books for a long time, and they went through a lot to build up the High Republic era, and I would like to think there was at least an option to someday do in that era what they're doing with the Mandoverse, multiple properties that kind of run alongside each other. So I think the way for them to bring it back and not freak people out is to have it be something else, but it's still Chimera. It's still, that story, but in a different direction, involving more things that aren't just their story, because everyone in that story is basically dead or missing. So I also want to see more of that senator. He was one of my favorite parts of that, because he's spot on, and I want to know, we need James Lucino to write it, all of the intricate workings of what Plagueis is doing, what the Republic's doing, that sort of thing. I don't know if he's ever screenwritten before, but we can.
Go ahead.
What do we got? Do you want to act like? Yeah.
I figured this would get everybody, talking a little bit, because we have some
in a world where we got 2 episodes of Maul this week. We're getting Mando in 30 days. We're talking about the Acolyte.
I know. That's okay.
Speaking of Mando, don't we have a little clip?
Ooh.
Yes, we have a bunch of clips actually. So
I woke up this morning into 10 different trailers. I mean, they just keep coming out.
Yeah. Let's see which ones. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have 4 new ones. So a couple of the short, so they're going to be horizontal, and then the other ones will fill up the whole screen. But so I'll take the poll down. I just thought that was fun to see if anybody was going to do that. So we got it's 3-1. We got 20 people on. Oh, we got 16, but I thought it was sort of cool. We have just talking about the Acolyte is awesome, I think. So it's really cool that it's number 9 now. Let's go back here.
For anybody that was asking, I just put the link as to where that is found. Flixpatrol.com.
Okay. Nice. All right, here we go. We'll do this. This one's only 16 seconds. This is a newer one. I think just came out a few hours ago. Nice. Speaking of
His little macaroons. His macaroons are going to be popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing so many collab things. WrestleMania this weekend had Mando involved. They're doing a Mando Burger King stuff. Like it's just everywhere. American Idol, like it's everywhere you look is Mando now. It's awesome.
yeah, they're really kicking into gear with the social media, and we knew they would. I was hoping that maybe it would have been a little bit sooner, but now they're just like you said, Mike. It's just every day. It's just more and more and more coming out, which is pretty awesome. This is a newer one too. This is 30 seconds. Let's watch this one.
You ready? Are you scared? You should be. The Empire will keep coming for us. So do we run or do we fight? I like this kid.
The Mandalorian and Grogu. In theaters May 22nd. Get tickets now.
I love when Zeb says that because it's such a throwback to Rebels when he finally likes Ezra, and that's pretty cool.
Wilhelm scream and all.
The Wilhelm scream was great. A stormtrooper on fire. The coolest part of this is, you're gonna get so much just Din Djarin killing so many stormtroopers. I think the opening scene of the movie is going to be that, just him being all badass. But they're not pulling any punches. If you watch some of the interviews with Jon Favreau this week, he's just saying how with the show they had a couple 6 months to make this season. Now they've had 3 years to do this movie with a budget that's way bigger, and they've had the time to do what they want with new sets, with practical sets, with all this other upgrades on upgrades on upgrades. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm rewatching Mando season 1 right now. I'm like, Mando season 1 is so freaking good. I know it's been a while since a lot of people have watched it, I'm sure, but go back and watch it before the movie comes out because it's even better than you remember it being. And you're watching that going, what are they going to do with a bigger budget, practical sets, and all this crazy stuff that they've been talking about? It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Well, in the interview that he has, one of them is how he talks about how, he felt when he was a kid. And I think that's cool. Like they're doing the stop animation and they're doing, like you said, the practical set. So you're not just going to use the volume all the time, which I think is fantastic. And you really can't tell. But once you're immersed in these sets, you're able to just, and especially when it's going to be on the big screen, it's going to be in IMAX. It's just going to be incredible. And I think that when it comes out, it's just going to be so fun for all of us to go watch it. And that the action is just going to be nonstop. Just like, when people went and saw the first, they let people see the first 20 minutes of it. Then I don't think there was a bad review that I saw anywhere or anything that anybody was talking how, it's going to be okay, or they did this or they did that. It's just Mando kicking ass and taking names on stormtroopers and miking a couple people in the beginning. So it's cool. This one is cute. It's 44 seconds. I wish I could have found a bigger screen for it, but it's still like the short form. But this is pretty cool.
Excuse me, Grogu. We talk about honesty.
Who reached out about the movie first?
You were cast before me. And you were the reason I said yes.
Who eats more snacks?
You wish. You wish.
Who's the messiest? Who takes more naps?
I like a nap, but yeah, go ahead. You got this one. Good. Honest boy.
Who's a better pilot?
I'm waiting. Excuse me! Grogu, we talk about honesty. Thank you. You have learned well, my son.
Last one. Who's more protective?
Equal?
Great.
I'm a 59-year-old man, and that just makes me smile. It's so cool. Though they have developed those characters so well, and I know we talk about it, and Mike's talked about it, and he likes to do that to a lot of characters, but they do all end up dying. But when that happens, when whether it's this movie or throughout, sorry, Mike.
No. I just don't know. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're referring to here, Ron.
We've really been milking that one.
We need like a video montage of all of the people who have been unalived in Star Wars and might.
But
Well,
just
to that point,
character
we're just
development. Yeah.
No, to that point, we're just four 30-year-old guys just looking at a cute little child, just and laughing. But no, like the coolest part of that was there was so much risk involved with creating Grogu in season 1 of The Mandalorian, making him a puppet. That was a huge risk, and now it's paid off big time. Obviously, Grogu's everywhere, but it's paid off even more because with the promotional material and all this stuff where Grogu is at events, like he can physically be there because these puppets are just so next level and they're so evolved. Like Grogu's like a living thing now because of just the way that they've been able to make him come to life.
Yeah, and just the interaction like that, where him and Pedro are just going back and forth in reference to it. It's just so cool that they're able to do that, and that I think also the chemistry between the two of them, whether it's obviously it's Pedro as an actor, which we all know he's fantastic in all the things that he does, and Fantastic Four and Mandalorian and some of the other things that he's been in recently. So I think that is going to like we've talked about, all of us. I think when that does happen and they're not a duo anymore, it's going to be an interesting scenario to see what happens and how people feel about that, and then what happens to Grogu after that, because the story of the Mandalorian and Grogu going to just Grogu is going to be interesting. I think, and it's is like we've talked about before, and I know Derek would love this, but does he turn to the dark side? Does he go bad and just start effing up people because you just killed my dad, and where do we go from there? Which I think will probably be in one of the Filoni movies, but I think that's going to be pretty incredible once that gets done. And they've talked about this being some sort of what's the word, Mike? Something changing for this movie.
Franchise changing.
Yeah, franchise changing. So that'll be.
You don't throw those words around. You don't just throw those words around.
Yeah. So
right,
the last
is
one is actually. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. My time coming near, because and I'm not going to be here next week because I will be. Where am I going to be, fellas?
You are going to be in Disney.
I will be in California at Galaxy's Edge next week, checking out all of the new timeline and all of the amazing snacks at the Star Wars After Dark party.
Well, before you get out of here, Derek, because I just saw this too. There's a timer right now online. I don't know where exactly, but there's a timer that's counting down to tomorrow at 3 p.m. For an announcement for Walt Disney World is teasing an incoming transmission announcement at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow that will tie to the new mission featuring the Mandalorian Grogu for the Millennium Falcon Smuggler Run, officially set to debut on May 22nd. So tomorrow at 3, there's a big announcement happening for that ride. Maybe a trailer drop for it, possibly.
That would be pretty cool.
A soft opening preview while I'm there.
Ooh. That would be nice.
Yeah, please take videos and send us videos so we can see what you're doing.
I will, and I will eat all the food and get all the amazing merch and be poor, more poor than I already am.
But at least you have cool Star Wars merch.
That's
they got cool new shirts of each movie at Galaxy's Edge now. Check them out. They're like they're kind of like these, but they're each film poster.
Well, they did just release all the food that they're going to have at the after dark party. So,
oh, nice. Now, is that only in California?
That is only in California for right now.
California love.
All right. I'll have fun. I'll be listening in spirit.
All right. Well, thank you and have fun. Be safe next week. And yes, please take videos and send videos. And may the force be with you, Derek.
Absolutely.
Have fun, Derek.
Everybody in the chat yell at Derek and tell him to bring us with him.
Yeah. Please pay for us to go. This last one that it's 47. And this was the trailer. No, I guess it's not. This is the actual scene that John
yeah.
brought last night to Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting. And I think we should definitely need to talk about this as well.
Grogu, I need you to go to the control panel. Remember the buttons I told you never to touch? I'm gonna need you to touch them. Look for the ignition relay cutoff. It's next to the fuel differential readout, which is between the pump compression gauge and the primary reserve No! Don't touch the missile battery switch. That's why there's a safety guard on it. Do you see the fuel readout display? Remember I showed you that one? It's on the other side of the manual control surface calibration.
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
It's so
This
good.
movie's gonna be so good. I don't know. I don't know how people are looking at this. Like, it's gonna have the comedic side of Star Wars that's always been there, and it's gonna have just insane amount of action. It's going to be what people, I guess, would have expected from just a spin-off Star Wars movie. Like, it's going to have still the same action adventure aspect that A New Hope had, that The Empire Strikes Back had, that Return of the Jedi had, but it's going to be just not Skywalker characters, and that's sort of what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. While we're talking about that, I'm gonna just throw them up here. Actually, I can put them up on the big screen, Nick. Hang on a second.
We got it.
Yeah, that's good.
So these are cool. So these are some of the things. I know Mike talked about this yesterday. Some of the buckets and different things that are going to be at the different theaters. So I think that the top left, I think, is and the AT are two of my favorites.
And those. Well, no, it's cool because those are at the AMC theaters, which is where we're gonna be.
Yep. So what do you guys think about some of these things? I'm interested to hear what you guys say in the chat. Do you have a favorite one here? Are you wanting the Grogu one? Or are you wanting the Mandalorian helmet? I think, again, I have a bunch of, just because I've been moving and things have been going on here. I found a bunch of my buckets from Rogue One, and I think one or two of the sequels that I had, and the cups that had the little figures on top of them and stuff. But I think these are going to be really cool because, again, like, even though the one in the middle there, it almost looks like a cereal box, that it's a tin. Those are cool, and they always do fun things like that. Go ahead, Mike.
No, with keychain. It's tin with keychain.
Yeah. Ooh.
You can't forget about the keychain. I wonder how big some of these are, because it's hard to tell from just these pictures. Because, like, I have an R2D2 one from Revenge of the Sith re-release, and it's massive. So I wonder if, like, the first Grogu one on the left is, like, really, really big, because it's a bucket of popcorn. It's got to be pretty big.
Yeah. That's we're hopefully we'll get some of you guys. I know we've talked about it. Mike is doing a live watch party at up in Boston, and in person, an in-person watch party that will be live on Thursday the 21st at 7:30. Is that correct?
That is all correct. Yes, 7:30 Thursday, May 21st, opening night, in-person watch party. We'll be there. We'll be there. Watching it on the big screen. IMAX was a necessity when we went into this. We have to watch it in the best possible format. And
as loud as possible.
IMAX, as loud as possible. So that'll be
one more thing. If you guys haven't seen that, there's a
this is cool. I signed up for this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So this is a great poster, but on May the 4th, they're doing a special event where you can go watch like 25 minutes of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I signed up for this, so I'm hoping to get in.
So
that's pretty crazy that they're doing that.
That's fun. Anybody? I don't think anybody's on it. Well, actually, Jacob's here, and I don't know if Tim's still here, but Nick and I will be doing a podcast live, hopefully at the same bar that we did last year.
If everyone remembers,
maybe we'll go to maybe we'll go afterward and see if we can watch 25 minutes of Mandalorian and Grogu. That would be freaking
that'd
cool.
be pretty
Or
cool.
beforehand.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, if you're in Nashville. But speaking of Mandalorian and Grogu and the live watch party, in-person watch party, Mike has a bunch of tickets, and if you can make it to Boston, which would be awesome, Nick and I are planning on trying to get up there and do that. I've already got my flight, so we're going to go up there and see that. Hopefully some of you guys can get up there. And we've also decided, Mike and I are going to pay for 2 people in the U.S. to fly up to Boston and watch it with us. So please continue. You have to be subscribed to our channel and Mike's channel, which I think pretty much everybody on here is. If you're not, go over and subscribe to Mike's channel tonight. He's on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern time. A guy who loves Star Wars. So, but yeah, we're gonna have a lottery, or we're not sure how we're gonna do this, but get a hold of one of us or both of us. I think, Mike, you're on pretty much all platforms as a guy who loves Star Wars. I'm on all platforms as Star Wars Jedi Chat. So Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all those things there. Let us know if you'd be interested in coming up. We will pick 2 people to come up to Boston, and we'll fly you up there. You will have to take care of the hotel, but we will take care of your flight and your ticket.
Yeah. So pretty much why we came to this decision was, well, first of all, we wanted to have an in-person watch party with just Star Wars fans in a movie theater. And obviously when it's Boston, Massachusetts, it's not everybody can get there, all that stuff, whatever. People don't live in Boston or near Boston. And so many people reached out to me immediately and said, Mike, I would love to come to this in-person watch party, but I live very far away or I can't do it because this, that, or the other, which makes perfect sense. I totally get it. That's why I didn't expect everybody to be able to come. However, if you can come, still free ticket for you as long as you can get there. But we were like, I get a lot of people are bummed out that they can't come because they can't make it, they can't fly, they can't whatever. So we were like, all right, let's do it. And Ron had the great idea to fly 2 people out, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. I think, obviously everybody wants to see it. So, and afterwards, obviously we'll do, Mike will have a breakdown and all that fun stuff that'll, it's going to be that'll be a long breakdown, but, and again, if you can come up for the day, awesome. Whether you're driving or flying, we know that everybody can't be up there, but yeah, we wanted to do this because you guys are here every week, listening to the 4 of us talk. You're there every week listening to Mike talk about Star Wars. Everybody on here is positive. Maybe some of the things that we talk about aren't your favorite shows or things like that, but there's no negativity here. And I almost did a short the other day. It was like, listen, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're sick of the politics and the negativity, come on over to a guy who loves Star Wars and Star Wars Jedi Chat and listen to, because there is so much. I hate to click on some of these because I do like some of these content creators and they have a lot of cool things to talk about and do different things. But when they start bringing politics into it or just start literally shitting on Star Wars, I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to you anymore, because that's not what this is about. If you want to go try to make some money because you want to hate on Star Wars or whatever the case may be, or because now you have a big platform, you think that you can talk politics. That's not what this is about. This is about something that George Lucas created almost 50 years ago that is amazing. And Dave Filoni has, and the rest of the, ILM and Lucasfilm and Disney Plus has continued to bring us, I feel like, in my opinion, and I think I can speak for both of these guys, some great Star Wars content, material, storylines, and we're just continuing to get it with the Mandalorian and Grogu coming up. Maul Shadow Lord that's out right now, Ahsoka Season 2, Starfighter, all of these things are just, they're raising the bar. I think there's no way that Star Wars is dead. There's enough fans that 4.1 million people watched Maul. It's the number one show on Disney Plus right now. Like Mike said, number 9 is The Acolyte, which is a Star Wars show that everybody shit on. We loved it. There's so much stuff coming out, and there's so much good content. The books, the comics, all those things. So we really appreciate you guys being here, and we understand that sometimes it could be hard or a little bit money is tight right now on different things, whether you can get away or not, and we understand that. And I apologize. We can't fly people from the UK or Japan or Australia, but we definitely wanted to get a couple people that are super excited and are subscribed to both of our channels to come up to Boston and experience this with us. And who knows, if you stay the weekend, I mean, I'm sure we'll probably go a couple times that weekend while we're there. I mean, we might as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I already planned to watch it that Thursday night, that Friday night, that Saturday night, that Sunday night, and that Monday night, because it's Memorial Day weekend. And then probably Tuesday night, Wednesday night, until it gets out of theaters, probably, depending on how good it is, of course. But no, Ron, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I just don't, why not be positive when you lay your head on the pillow at the end of the day? Star Wars is supposed to be an escape, not a retread of what your everyday life is.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's fun for us to escape to that and spend 40 minutes or an hour or 2.5 hours or 2 hours and 12 minutes to watch The Mandalorian and Grogu. So I think it's going to be fun for us all to do that and to be together, and also this is a community. Our podcast is a community. Mike's podcast is a community, and I'm so grateful for him to come over and talk about Star Wars with us each week, along with Nick and Derek and I. And it's so fun to have the knowledge, that Mike brings, the lore and the knowledge that Nick brings, and same with Derek with the parks and everything else. It's just everybody has their own little niche. And I think it showed up tonight on this podcast, even with some of the things where, Derek was bringing up games and we're talking about, Mike was able to bring up The Acolyte again tonight. So all of these things that we have here, Nick brings in the character reveal for us tonight, so we can talk about things like that. So next week, it'll be Nick and Mike for right now. Derek and I will not be on next week, but continue to please watch the both of our podcasts. We'll have some more information about the flights coming up and the movies and the movie and everything else. So the tickets, again, like Mike said, if you can get to Boston, tickets are free. I'm sure we'll hang out. Yeah, I'm sure we'll hang out. So, but
who doesn't love something that's free? But I do have to point out, Austin in the chat. Can we pull that message up?
Which one?
The latest one.
Oh,
no, the latest one. The latest one.
There
that means no one can say anything negative about The Last Jedi ever again. Exactly. That's the point. Exactly.
True. Or The Acolyte.
Yeah.
No, it's not that you can't dislike a Star Wars project, obviously, but it's more so having, just the respect of other people.
Yeah.
I can't even emphasize how many times we've gone into a comment section and just got eviscerated by people who just like you really say that on the internet? That's kind of crazy.
And to Ron's point, both of your point, I've said this many times. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but this whole thing exists because Ron literally told me, I want this to be a place where no one's doesn't feel like they don't belong in Star Wars, right? That we can all get here and talk about it. We're interested in it. And there's a big difference between having an issue with a Star Wars project and talking about it and, saying why, or just shitting on it. And I think the big difference is whether it's genuine or disingenuous. I think there's a lot of disingenuous Star Wars hate, and that's the worst thing about it, because it's not really given a shot. It's not really given the same microscope that even like originals weren't given. Like all it's typically this disingenuous manufactured hate that creates this lens over everything that comes out. And I feel like here, even if we don't like something, like I know me and Austin may like The Last Jedi more than Ron ever will. But like we're not sitting here like kill each other over it. It's crazy. I think we can all see points that we like things or dislike them. But the point is like we can sit here and talk about it. The chat can sit here and talk about it. We can talk with each other about it. And just enjoy it and kind of like live through this pretty unprecedented time of Star Wars stuff. Yeah. Like we're now, the engines are running, horsepower's there. We're now pretty much seem to have something animated, live action series and movies cooking for the foreseeable future at all times. It's never happened before. Yeah. So we're in it. We're kind of like documenting our interest in it, and we can't be more grateful for the people in chat, which is why the watch party is a really big deal. So.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. To that point though, Nick, me and Sam are doing our watch through. We're on the Mandalorian finally now. Looks like we might make it before the Mandalorian comes up. But we just got through the original trilogy. And as you mentioned, if the original trilogy came out today, I'm watching it with a brand new lens where I'm going, if this came out today, what would get picked apart? What would just absolutely be? If it came out today, it would have been destroyed online. Absolutely destroyed. There's so many aspects of that movie that to this day, when you see Andor come out or The Mandalorian come out or whatever, those bits and pieces that people just pick apart and hate on those shows for these specific reasons, this, that, and the other, they're everywhere in the original trilogy because that's Star Wars. That's why they're in The Mandalorian, because that makes them Star Wars. And it's the exact same thing that these people that people crap on all the time with these new projects that I'm like, they're in the originals. What are we even talking about here? It's
disingenuous.
The same thing. It's just nitpicking for nitpicking's sake.
Or, as we said before, actually, we don't need to talk about it. We're good. This is a great place to be. Great place to be.
Yep. Yeah. And like I just said in the chat there, it's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. We have so much cool stuff coming out. Maul is just crushing it. We're all on the edge of our seats during the show. We're all like, we can't wait until next week, to see what, we're all shills. That's right. We're here. We're excited about it. And I know you guys talked a little bit about it on Clan Brandalorian, but even for you guys, I know you were a little bit younger, as the prequels came out, but for me as a Star Wars fan, from being an OG in 1977, and then waiting 3 years for another show, and and then another 3 years in 83 for another show, and then it's like, oh, okay, man, that was awesome, and then it's gone. Some books come out and some comics and different things like that. And then when they started talking about the prequels, it was just like, this is going to be amazing. And since the prequels have come out, it's just grown bigger and bigger. And Star Wars Celebration, next year, it's going to be huge. 50 years. I mean, George did this 50 years ago when I was 10 years old. You guys weren't even born, and we can sit here on this podcast and have a great conversation about it, and all have our own opinion, but have a positive opinion about it, and just because, maybe my favorite movie isn't, The Last Jedi, I still enjoyed the sequels, everything that they had, and everything that it went back to Easter eggs and refers back to the originals. That's what makes it fun for me. That's why I love all the stuff that's coming out with now, because it's just so much fun. They're expanding on these characters, and like you said, Mike, if that was to come out now, people would be, she kissed her. I mean, they talk about that now. She kissed her brother and this and that. It's like, okay, we need to get over those things. There's some things that we just need to look a little bit past to continue to have this unbelievable Star Wars experience that everything is coming out.
Yeah, not really what I was getting at, but yes, the whole kiss the sister thing is true. No, you're absolutely right though on all other things, I suppose. To your point though, like the coolest part of all this, and yes, the age gap between all three of us here today, and you look in the chat, people tuning in from all across the world because it Star Wars just defies all boundaries of everything. Like everybody loves Star Wars just for different reasons. They love different projects, whatever, but they all have the similar thing of loving Star Wars. So I love to do this. Tell me in the chat where you guys tuning in from today. Just around the world. You don't have to say your address, but be a little broad.
Yeah,
be a little broad. So, and then the other thing I was going to say too was, now I completely forget what the other thing I was going to say was.
Well, there's 18 people on here.
Train of thought.
Yeah,
please.
Train of thought.
Yeah, that would be cool. If there's 18 people on here, just let us know. You don't the state, the country, or wherever you're at. We would love to find out where you're at. Nick and I are actually in Nashville, and
Yes.
Derek is when he's here. He's in Des Moines, Iowa, and Mike's in Boston. Obviously, that's why we're flying everybody up there. So, look at this. I mean, from all over the world. So. Go ahead, Mike. I know
I remember now. I remember my train of thought. So as I'm watching through, I had this thing where I was like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe my love for Star Wars is just absolutely on a delusional level, and maybe that's still true. However, as I'm watching through all these projects with Sam, somebody who has never seen any of it and is not as involved in the fandom as we are, as I'm watching it, I guess, through her eyes, in every single project we watch, the Acolytes, with the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, with Andor, she has heard me talk about all these projects when they came out. I guess not Return of the Jedi because I wasn't alive, but Andor and the Acolyte, and me over and over again telling her how much it's getting crapped on and people calling it Bore and all these other things. So as we're watching all these projects, she just keeps turning to me and going, people didn't like this, and I was like, it's crazy, right? It's absolutely insane. So the solidification of me not being crazy and her agreeing that this is really good, and she's like, how do people hate this? She said it with Rebels, she said it with Andor, she kept saying it with Andor because she's like, this is so good. She said it with the Acolytes, of course. Just things that I said that people didn't really Kenobi, because Kenobi got a lot of crap. Just things that people didn't really like. I was just like, come on.
Yeah, that's crazy. I want to give a huge shout out to 50 Thunder and Jedi Jarvo, because it's, I think, 2:00 in the morning their time, and
we're watching.
And they're on here. So thank you guys so much for being on here. I know Mike says earlier, and I think it was I think 50 Thunder said something yesterday. He's like, you need to come on earlier for our people, which I would love to, but there's so many Star Wars podcasts out there. Mike's got that afternoon tied up, and I try to get on there as much as I can and throw my comments in, and was lucky enough to get on there yesterday so we could do was it yesterday to do our announcement?
Yeah.
So you guys, thank you so much, because you guys are here pretty much. I know on our Jedi podcast, you guys are here pretty much every week. So thank you guys for doing that. Yeah, 2:33 a.m. here. So appreciate you guys.
I'm gonna have. I know this is Ron's show, so I probably shouldn't do this, but no, don't listen to him. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. This is go to bed
tomorrow.
Yeah, watch on the playback.
Yes. But please make comments too, because I always go through and look at all the comments and stuff. And it was funny. You were talking about the comments and I know we're sort of a little bit off of topic here, but we're still talking about Star Wars. My $2 billion prediction, I put that up there, and I mean, people are just tearing me up. Wanting to know how I know math, and the calculations and this and that. And it's my opinion. And you know what? If it doesn't make $2 million, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not okay if it doesn't make $2 million.
I'm going to laugh at you. And if it doesn't, then you can laugh at me. But it's fun and we enjoy it and we're here to have fun. And I love all the comments and everybody in here. 730 Evie, she's on here quite a bit. Kyler's been on here a bunch of times. Holly's on almost every time here for us. Lobo, I saw him just come in. So thank you guys for all being here. It's just such a fun time for us to come on. And the cool part too, I think, and I don't think they're on here tonight, but Nick's mom and dad are fans and they're on here quite a bit.
Almost every time.
Which is really cool as well.
Almost every time.
Yeah.
Hey, Star Wars is generational.
Right,
what do you guys think,
absolutely.
Ron and Mike? What do you guys think about fielding a few chat questions before we get out of here?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll do the first one.
Do we have some in there? Or do we want
to? We have for sure one, and if people want to start putting them in, maybe we'll pop up a couple.
A little Q&A. I like it.
Yeah. So we have Cade and N6. We did talk about this earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Do we think the Mandalorians will betray Maul, gentlemen? What do we think?
Yes.
100%,
yes.
I don't. You think so, Mike?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Definitely.
Well, I don't know if they'll betray him. They might pull out, and maybe that's the same as betray. But when I think of betray, I think of like backstabbing or, possibly jumping to the other side or something like that. I think they might bail out. But I also am under the impression that they might not get a chance. They might not make it.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's a possibility.
I think Mandalorians are generally somewhat smart, right? And I think they've been around Maul for a while and know that leaving to Maul is betrayal. So they might have to act. They might have to draw first if they're going to get out. If that makes sense, which probably won't go well. So.
Yeah, I just think all of this comes from that one scene in episode 5, and they put that in there for a reason. So whether they succeed in stabbing him in the back or don't, or they just die from somebody else, I don't think the Mandalorians are going to have a very happy ending when it comes to this show.
Those two dudes talking to Rook Cast might just be a story vehicle for letting us know that Rook Cast is conflicted. Because later on in the episodes, every time she talks to Maul, she seems a little, we see her for 1 second more than we usually do, like a little thing. So,
yeah, she's sort of.
We have a whole future for that character that we're kind of planning on, right? Thinking we'll learn more about her. I don't think that means she's the armor or anything like that, but
Could be,
or it could be involved. We've got a whole freaking movie about Mandalorian somehow. So
yeah, we just got introduced to the armorer in Mando season 1 as we're watching it, and Sam goes, "Who is that?" That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know. That was 6 years ago, and I still don't know.
Here, we'll do this one. I know Mike's answer on this one.
See, Spybot is great. He doesn't have Chopper yet, just because Chopper's 5 seasons of television, and Spybot's barely got. He's fun. He's funny. Maybe someday.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge Chopper fan. I love. I mean, again, I'm with Mike. Rebels is one of my favorites. The way that they brought all those characters in from we didn't have any of those characters. I mean, Ahsoka comes in, but the Ghost Crew, the way that they brought that storyline in there, and all of those characters are freaking awesome. Again, when Kanan goes, it's just it's heartbreaking. But yeah, for me, Chopper If you put R2 and Chopper up there, man, I'd have to. I don't know who I would go with because I like Chopper that much, but R2's the GOAT. I think he's been from beginning to end. But for that right now, I think Spybot's cool. I think that hopefully he'll stick around for the next couple of seasons, and I think he will. But Chopper's my guess, right, or my answer.
Yeah, Chopper has sort of the unfair, longevity stats on Spybot.
Yeah.
He's just been in it more, and we care about him more. Spybot also is technically a villain, right? So it's like we're gonna have fun with Spybot, but we care about Chopper,
Yeah.
But I do love, I would have never. I loved in the first episode when Maul pets Spybot. I would have never called Maul petting a droid, I loved that. I don't know why it's so weird.
It's like an evil person with a cat,
Yeah. I never would have called that, and I loved that. So I feel like Spybot could grow on me even more. It's just is unfair experience thing for Chopper. I mean, we all really care about him, and Chopper is crazy. Spybot's crazy, but Chopper is nuts. R2's not nuts. R2's
he's sensible,
badass. But
what I like about Spybot too, and 50 Thunder just brought it up too, a Lego for Spybot would be awesome. Just toys for Spybot would be awesome too, because he's sort of a completely new design of a droid. Chopper is very much of the R2-D2 astromech tree, I guess, of Star Wars droids. Spybot is this new UFO looking. The toys for him are going to be really cool.
Spybot has already been very prolific in this show, a huge advantage for everyone involved on his side. Not that Chopper isn't, but
Well, and his name is very spot on. I mean, he's spying. He's spying every episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think Rook Cast will die? Caden asks.
Well, not if she's the armorer. But if she dies, then we'll be like, okay, well, she's not the armorer.
Yeah.
I don't think they will. My two reasons are I think this character is going to continue to be Rook Cast. I don't think that she will become the armorer, but my second reason is because you don't bring in someone like Vanessa Marshall to voice her and then kill her off. And we already have Emily as the armorer, which I think if that were the case, they might have done something different for the armorer, or maybe had her talk a little bit different. So that's my opinion on that. I don't think that she's an armorer. I think she's a cool character. I love the way that Vanessa brings her to life in this. But I don't think she's gonna die either, especially not this first season. I think that we could possibly see her leaving or dying in season 2 or 3, because as we know, Maul's by himself. Once he gets to Dathomir. So that's my opinion on that one.
Well, it would be great too if I know we don't want Rook Cast to die or anything, but the Mandalorians, Icarus and Scorn, Rook Cast, those characters, I suppose, are not with Maul in Rebels, and to our knowledge, they're not with Maul in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So it wouldn't be that crazy to think, come the end of this season or next season, that Vader or Inquisitors, somebody comes in and just kills all of Maul's people, like the Mandalorians and Icarus and Scorn in Rook Cast, and then Maul has to go to, like Nick was saying earlier, just become the leader of the Crimson Dawn, and then have the Crimson Dawn as his sort of people. And what happens with Devon Izara, we don't know, but then he has Kira as an apprentice too. So it just, a lot of it is, in a show about Maul, you'd think you kind of know what's going to happen because you know where his story ends. You don't. We don't know what happens to 90% of these characters, except for Maul.
Yep. How about this one? What will we call Two Boots next week from Chopper Base?
We'll call him Barefoot.
I do like the implication of the question. I'm not sure if this was the intention, but if he keeps the boots on, he's on Lawson's side. If he doesn't, so what will we call him next week? I think implies what is he going to do? You know?
Well, it would be funny because in episode like 2 or 3, we saw him get like an action scene when he was chasing down Rook Cast, and he was like doing these crazy flips and everything. If he took the boots off and then he just started like slipping everywhere, like he's like not as good anymore.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting because I think the way, like you said, that, and not that he has facial expressions, but the way that they made, that droid look when he was like, get rid of them boots. He was like, excuse me, what?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is the catalyst where it's going to be, like you said, if we don't see him without, if he takes him off, then he's going to sort of continue on his path of just being programmed the way he is, and he has to do what he has to do. But I think he realizes now that what the Empire is all about and what Brander Lawson was talking about and why he didn't want them there. So my theory on that is that he's going to be like, you know what, F the Empire. Sorry I brought him in here, but let's go kick some ass now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about Holly? Do we think Vario will be loyal to Maul because he let him live? I'll take this first one. I think he's just primarily self-interested. So he's going to do whatever he thinks is best for him. At present, he has nothing else to do. So, and nowhere else to go, especially with the Empire being there, as Maul pointed out to him. I do think it's interesting that he still is around, like not necessarily alive, but that we get dialogue with him still every episode, which you would think his end of this story is done, right? Like taken care of. He connected him to the Pikes, got what he wanted. Maul's done with him. I think there's more coming, especially with what Mike was just saying about whatever happens with this like leftover Shadow Collective and how he links up with Crimson Dawn. Like we still have a lot of like crime network stuff to get through, and we're still on, Inquisitors and Devin and Uncle Docky and Brendan Lawson. So yeah.
Well, to that point too, I think these characters, these new characters like a Vario and Brandon Lawson, they are going to be important since they're kept around. Like, I don't think Vario's being kept around for no reason. I think he'll actually play a big role in these last 4 episodes, whatever it may be. They didn't just keep him alive because they could have easily killed him off in 10 different ways, but they're definitely keeping him around and giving him lines. Like you said, in episode 5 or 6, one of those episodes, he had a line to Maul and he's like, can I go free now? He's like, yeah, you're free, but whatever. So I think they're keeping him around for a bigger purpose. I just don't know what that is yet.
Yeah. And Holly's follow-up was, she said, so he'll be loyal to whoever's winning. I think that's kind of his vibe.
Yeah.
Like DJ from The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Whoever's got the best deal.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. I liked that. We should maybe do something like that again, Nick. That was cool to take some questions like that and talk about especially Maul, which I liked, and that's what most of the questions were about. But as we go on, maybe we'll do that and pull some questions up at the end or towards the end, maybe the last 15-20 minutes, where everybody can put their answers in there as well, and then we get to put our opinion in there. So I thought that was a cool thing, because again, like we talked about, it's all positive. We're not bashing on this or that. It's fun to know what everybody thinks about that and what your opinion is on these characters, just like a Spybot and Chopper and different things like that. So I do want to say that I forget who it was. Somebody wanted to know if anybody had cats. and in the chat there was a couple people that had them. I love cats. I had 2. Unfortunately, they passed away a few years ago, but cats are cool as shit too. So, but we have 2 dogs now, but a couple people in here had some cats. So maybe you could, I don't know how, or Jarvo, I don't know if I can do call-ins yet. I am not as big as Mike yet. So we don't have that many people. So tell all your friends in the UK, please, to subscribe to my channel and come on at 1 o'clock in the morning, after they get home from the bars and stuff like that, or just hanging out. So
play it at the bars.
Yeah,
just play it at the bars on the TV.
Yeah, there you go. So, but
hopefully you'll go up by millions of subscribers tonight, because Steve, you have a mission. You have to get every single person in the entire United Kingdom to subscribe to this channel.
Yes. After you get up tomorrow, you can go to bed after this.
Right.
No. Start now.
That's right. What time do the bars close over there? Are they closed already? So, and we're at an hour and 50. So, thank you guys again, all of you guys that are still on here. Appreciate it. I know it was fun to have Austin on here again with his little funny quirks. He likes to come in once in a while. He's Nick's buddy, so appreciate him coming in. He's in Minnesota, so he must have he's got a newborn, so he did not say where he was from. But I thought it was cool that everybody, thank you for putting in what city or state or country that you're in, and really appreciate you guys tuning in to us. Again, tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern time, a guy who loves Star Wars. I'm sure there'll be some new trailers and a bunch of new cool stuff that Mike will be talking about. Please reach out. Make sure that you guys are subscribed to both of our channels, and reach out to one or both of us in reference to a free flight up to Boston, and then a free ticket to do a live in-person watch of Mandalorian and Grogu. Mike will, so Saturday you'll do predictions for Maul, right? Because you got tomorrow and then Saturday, so that'll be fun. Jan's in from Toronto, so that's pretty cool.
There you go.
Nice.
Jan, start driving now. You'll make it.
Toronto's not too far from Boston. You got to sort of go up a little bit.
That's not too
I actually grew up in Rochester, so I'm very familiar with Toronto and Mississauga and some of those places around there. So, but again, thank you guys so much for being on here Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock. We appreciate everybody joining in. Again, subscribe, hit the like button if you haven't already, so we can just keep on going. Appreciate Derek coming. Hopefully we'll get some really cool pictures and some cool videos from Derek next week while he's live. Mike will probably be talking about the thing. Well, if it drops at 3 tomorrow, you'll probably talk a little bit about the Disney, the ride and stuff like that, which will be awesome. So, I can't thank everybody enough. Me and Nick love having everybody here. I'm so glad that Mike's able to join us most of the time, almost every week now. So, that's it. What do you, anything to, I know. So thank you guys so much for being here, and we will see you. You guys got anything to say before we get out of here?
Tune in to Mike tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And get back here same time, 2:30 in the morning next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
If you're in the UK with all of your friends. Okay.
Everybody in the UK, yeah.
That's right.
Tall order, but we can make it happen.
Yes. So I'm gonna do this tonight. So thank you guys for being here. May the force be with you, and we'll see you on the next Star Wars Jedi Chat.